Hi guys, welcome to Origin. Recently there's been a lot of talk about pornography and prostitution, so I'd like to give you my 2 cents. I've seen quite a lot of videos on both sides, Vogter, Peach, TJ. On the other hand, Adam, Hemsley, Nuclear Knight, Antique Lens. Now, which side am I on? I have nothing against pornography or prostitution, so I'm on the side of wanting prostitution legalised and pornography is, unrestricted as it possibly can be. Now, I was surprised at how controversial a topic this is, so this is going to incur some wrath from the other side. That's unavoidable. But the users whose videos I have seen that are on the other side, I've watched quite a few of their videos and I do like a lot of their content, especially, I'm subscribed to Adam Hemsley, and, I was surprised at how much I disagreed with him, but I do like his content a lot. He was a excellent contributor to 5 Mad Heathens back in the day. The arguments go something like this. Pornography objectifies women. There's a lot of abuse that goes on in the industry. It encourages and glorifies misogynistic attitudes. And prostitution is slavery because it's the buying and selling of human beings. I'm just going to deal with those ones. If you want me to go over others, then I'll be happy to make another video about it. Okay, so first, objectifying. Undoubtedly true, but I do want to make a couple of points. First of all, pornography is not one-sided to one particular gender. Men are also involved. Now, maybe it's predominantly female, maybe the ratio of male to female is not quite even, but there are definitely men involved, and you have to also say that they're objectified as well. You can't avoid that. The next point I want to make is that you might think that objectifying people is bad or immoral or whatever you want to call it, but that's not good enough for the rest of us. I for one thing don't see anything inherently bad with objectification, so that's only half an argument. You have to explain why it's a bad thing, why objectifying people is bad, even if it's just in your opinion. Now, of course, this could just be used in conjunction with other arguments, and in that case you don't need to do that. And with that being said, we may as well move on to the next one. True, no question about it, every job has their assholes. What I would say to that, though, is why is that an argument to ban or outlaw pornography? Because surely that's just the people in the industry and not the industry itself. If you want to have an argument there, you have to say why. You would have to show somehow that the industry directly creates this behaviour, no matter what particular form the industry actually takes at that stage. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, that means that if you could reform the industry in a certain way, even just hypothetically, into a way, where that abuse is no longer caused, then that's what you should do instead of banning or outlawing it. So in this case, it's not the position that's radical, it's the solution, and it's more radical than it needs to be. Why couldn't we simply just reform those things? Why does it call for something more extreme that will upset, undoubtedly, a lot of people, such as banning or outlawing it? Concerning the misogynistic attitudes argument, TJ made a video called Feminism Sucks. Now, his opinions on pornography in that video were the only ones I agreed with. I don't know where TJ came up with the rest of the stuff about feminism, because it's just not true. I understand that. But I think his argument about market forces covers this one. If people have a demand for something, there's a supply to go along with it that gets created because of that demand. Now, does this rule out the fact that pornography may well have an effect on people? Not necessarily. As for my own arguments, well, first of all, it completely ignores the concept of a dominatrix. In other words, when the woman is dominant and the male is submissive. And the other thing, and I feel it's the most important one, is that even if you could somehow invalidate everything that's been said so far in opposition to your argument, why does it require, banning or outlawing pornography in order to, solve this problem? Why, for example, why couldn't you just put in a simple disclaimer in the video saying, this isn't how you should treat women in real life? That this is, it's staged, there are actors involved, whatever you want to put in there, why is this not something that can be solved with a simple disclaimer? I mean, video games do it. Grand Theft Auto, you've got that message at the beginning that says this isn't how you should drive in real life. It's not the exact words, obviously, but it's something like that. What would be important here is the concept of ownership. If you're a slave, then your master owns you. You're the property of that person. In prostitution, that's not the case, because all you're doing is paying for someone to perform sexual acts on you. After it's all said and done, they're free again. And by that logic, surely you're more of a slave if you're a butler. But there's a problem with arguments like that in general. Prostitution is slavery. Taxation is theft. Obama's a socialist. They're highly rhetorical. All you're doing is associating one concept with another that's already highly stigmatized, just to see if you can rub off some of the stigma onto that to make people think that, it is something that's really terrible after all. And certainly in those three examples that I gave, it just doesn't work. Prostitution is not slavery, taxation is not theft, and Obama is definitely not a socialist. If I need to go into detail about those other two, then I will another time. I just hope we can have a somewhat civil discussion about this if you do want to say anything about it. And if you've watched my videos, I'm open to both sides of the argument. I'm open to hearing what you have to say, and I will take it on board. So I just wanted to get that out there. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.